Well, the ANC is calling on Eskom to limit power cuts to lower stages. This, of course, as South Africans are made to endure rolling blackouts, with Eskom in the past week or so having had to implement stage 6 load shedding. Party held its National Executive Committee meeting over the weekend. Many issues discussed, including the blackouts and, of course, the State Capture Commission report. eNCA's Moloko Moloto joins us to dissect the ANC NEC statement. Quite a long statement that came out. I think let's just start with the most important thing that we've been enduring, and that's the load shedding. We've heard that behind the scenes there was quite a robust criticism of Pravin Gordhan within that meeting. Talk to me about what the document says and what you might have heard about the tone of discussions over the weekend.
Well, good evening, Sally. Well, for me, there are two key takeaways from this long and detailed statement by the ANC. On the issue of load shedding, firstly, they are saying that Eskom must consider reducing the pain from stage 6 to stage whatever, either 1 or 2. Here, the issue is that basically the ANC is saying, get used to the pain, just lower pain or lesser pain. But the other one is where they basically are saying that government must intensify the investigation to investigate possibilities of sabotage. We are not hearing this for the first time, Sally. In fact, if you recall, in December 2019, President Cyril Ramaphosa blamed load shedding at that time on sabotage. So one would have thought that by now, perhaps the ANC would be saying that we demanded answers from government to say what has happened then and why did you allow this sabotage, or why did you not put measures in place to stop this supposedly the sabotage.
Was there any response to, and we've seen a number of political parties, the IFP and COPE among them, saying the ANC needs to take responsibility for the state of power in this country, because it was past presidents who ignored the call from Eskom saying we need to build new power stations now. I think it was Thabo Mbeki, if I'm not mistaken. So has there been any sort of engagement within the ANC with those criticisms, from what you can tell?
Well, indeed, it was former President Thabo Mbeki who admitted that government at the time when it was advised it was wrong for not acting on the advices by Eskom. He apologized, but that doesn't assist. We are here now. What we know, obviously, the criticism did not only come from political parties. IFP saying punish the ANC in 2024, COPE as well, but also we have seen, even within the rank and file of the ANC itself, young members of the ANC saying fire certain individuals, including Minister of Public Enterprises as well as the CEO of Eskom. But we have had so many CEOs of Eskom over the years. These rolling blackouts have been happening. I guess the important thing now is to look at the ANC as to what action, beyond making these pronouncements and callings, what exactly is it going to do? Because if you listen to what the CEO of Eskom under the Reiter has said, that actually they have spent up to so far from January to June 4.1 billion rand burning diesel just to make sure that we don't plunge into total darkness, and that is 2 times the budget they had allocated for that period. So the issue here is sustainability. Even if the ANC says reduce the pain, the fact of the matter is that the economy does not need this rolling blackouts.
Yeah, and now there's an extra billion for the wage increases. At the same time, the cost of living is rising. Tonight at midnight, we're facing those fuel price increases, petrol going up between sort of 2.37 to 2.57 a litre inland, slightly lower at the coast. Diesel also up by over 2.30. I mean, that is going to bite. It's going to push inflation up. It is a really difficult time. What do the ANC have to say about that?
Well, Sally, it's just a matter of time before we see prices for essentials, food, for instance, also increasing, because those who are producing will say transportation costs are, hurting them. But for me, what was a little bit insensitive, reading this statement by the ANC, is that immediately after they had said that they encourage business and households to invest in renewable energies, essentially encouraging people perhaps to put rooftop solar panels. That comes at a cost.
Yeah.
Immediately after making that call, they are also acknowledging the increasing cost of living. So just how do they expect ordinary people to afford such? Of course, those with deep pockets possibly are off the grid by now, but people who are well off in our country are just the minority.
That is so very true. The issue of cadre deployment, the Zondo report, the final part of the report, interstate capture, it's called for some firm action, and of course ANC members among those who have been implicated. What is the ANC saying about this?
Well, the ANC is saying that it is going to have to bite the bullet and implement recommendations of the Zondo Commission, painful as they may be. Of course, we know there's a number of leaders who are implicated to a varying degree, of course. And it is basically also calling on present and past leaders of the ANC to present themselves before its own integrity commission. I mean, I can just say former President Jacob Zuma, because he's also implicated there, is it therefore the ANC expecting that he will have to go and account to allegations as they emerge in the report that some of the money from the State Security Agency found its way to him? Those are some of the things, but also the ANC is saying that it's going. You would recall that the issue of cadre deployment was actually denounced as unlawful and unconstitutional by the Zondo Commission. Now, the DA in reaction just a few days ago announced that it's actually going to court to challenge it or perhaps get a declaratory order, you know. And the ANC, we saw the reports that actually it intends to oppose that litigation by the DA. Now, today the ANC is saying, look, we are actually going to review. It's not saying we are going to cancel it altogether. And the review of it, we don't know what shape, new shape is going to take. Are they going to say perhaps they are going to be more open and, you know, allow the public perhaps to scrutinize? We don't know.
Yeah, and a review can take an awfully long time, very quickly. Any mention of Phala and the probe, because we know that the president has to appear at the Integrity Commission. He's got that extension, though.
Nothing in the long statement, Sally.
Right. Okay.
Nothing at all.
Interesting. Thank you very much for breaking it down so concisely for us. eNCA's Moloko Moloto there.